The next morning, time to take to sea has arrived once again. The short New York stop is already over. In a veil of Atlantic mist, the crews say their last goodbyes and one by one slip out into the Hudson River again. Sailing home this time, Nova Scotia, where a warm welcome awaits at the end of this cold 570-mile sprint north to Halifax. Out in the bay, the 10 yachts line up for a Le Mans start. Only their mainsails can be hoisted and the teams must assemble in the cockpit. At the count, the crews charge forward and frantically hoist their headsails. The quicker they're up, the sooner they can harness the light winds and move away from the pack. With 10 68-foot yachts in close quarters, it's an exhilarating start. And as the miles tick away, the challenge of open ocean sailing resumes. On board Nova Scotia, the crew are settling back into life at sea. And though their passage home will be a short one, it's still fraught with danger. Dense fog clouds the journey north. Down below, skipper Rob McAnally keeps a close eye on proceedings.
Bobbing around and coming quite close to each other, suddenly appearing out of the fog as we cross, which has been happening since the beginning. So, pretty exciting stuff. Radar is always on. There's always someone in these situations down here looking at the radar, making sure that that's okay, and obviously everyone's very vigilant on deck.
With 10 32-ton yachts all on the same course and visibility down to a few hundred metres, keeping a vigilant radar watch is essential.
Yeah, that's us in the middle. And what we're looking for is Holland Humber and Qingdao because there's so much mist around. Okay, Holland Humber.
Close quarter battles in long-range open ocean racing are few and far between. But on shorter stages, with markers the yachts must all round, the fleet remains bunched up and tight. It's exhilarating racing.
Well, we are to windward to Holland Humber right now, which is to our advantage. So we can be giving them a little bit of disturbed air, which is hopefully slowing them down just enough so we can keep scooching ahead. This is really fun. When you can see the other guys this close to you, then you can actually see how your efforts are being rewarded or not, you know, and this is really great.
Mile after mile, the battle rages on.
Good, it's great to be up here with Holland Humber. We don't always manage to keep up with them, so it's really good. I've been on the bow, trimming the headsails for half an hour or so, and it does seem to be helping us to kind of keep ahead of them at the moment.
Bit by bit, through the thick Atlantic fog, the race home to Nova Scotia continues. Elsewhere in the fleet, wind is harder to find. On board Liverpool 08, 27-year-old taxi driver Lisa Pova is doing her best to make the most of the light conditions. Back home on the other side of the Atlantic in Liverpool, Lisa's husband Chris is getting on with his daily routine. At work as a youth support officer, and at home, where Chris has had to adapt to life without his wife for months.
It was difficult when she left, sort of thing, because you know that, you know, potentially you're not going to see her for 10 months. I've always thought I like my own company, and I do. But you don't realise how much you get used to someone being around. The day she left, it brought it all home, really, that she was going away for 10 months. I do all the bits in here, so I've got to do the cooking, the cleaning, the normal stuff like the bits of DIY and cutting the grass and all that sort of thing. I don't think these are the kind of fish that Lisa will be seeing. Triangular fish.
And though Chris has adapted to life without Lisa, she's never far from his thoughts.
I think things are a bit different without her around, you know. Lisa's on my mind a lot more. I'm following it though every day on the internet, I check the website probably at least 10 times a day just to see if there's been any developments and any news stories, and to check the position on the race. And also to check my emails really, just to see, you know, because Lisa sends me emails fairly often. Yeah.
The months apart have been long for both Chris and Lisa. But as race 12 draws on and the finish line in Nova Scotia approaches, it'll only be weeks before they're reunited again. On board the home boat and across the entire fleet, the wind has disappeared once again. With many of the boats in clear view of each other, the last few miles creep by at an agonising pace.
It is awfully close. They're just over there. We've been trying for the last 4 hours or so just to kind of creep past them. We've tried going up the inside, we've tried going up the outside, we've tried going through the middle.
High-octane nose-to-tail racing is replaced by delicate, light wind control. It's all part of the skill of ocean yacht racing.
It's a lot more challenging. It's much harder to try and get some boat speed when there's only 5 knots of wind. When there's 20 knots of wind, you just set the sails and hang on. This is far more interesting if you can bear the nasty flappy noises.
Like New York before them, the crew of Nova Scotia endure their last few homecoming miles in almost no wind at all. Later that night, the first Clipper yacht pulls safely into Halifax. It's a first race win for Western Australia 2011.com, and skipper Martin Silk is clearly pleased.
It's pretty damn good, yeah. I'm not the only happy one on board, obviously, because the team on board are absolutely enthralled. It's been a long time coming, but you know, we got there in the end.
Following them in, Glasgow Scotland with Style Clipper stay in the hunt for the top spot. And after a mixed race up the American coast, the home boat arrives to a warm dockside reception. It's a proud moment for Rob McAnally and his team, and the following morning they lead the reassembled fleet triumphantly into Halifax's historic waterfront. Crowds line the dockside, eager for a glimpse of their Clipper heroes. For the skipper of the home boat, it's a special moment.
It's been absolutely amazing. First of all, at the Royal Nova Scotia Yacht Club, that was really good to get there early this morning. So now in, and what a warm welcome we've had from the big crowd. There's something about coming into the place you're representing that, you know, I can't explain how I'm feeling. It really is a very proud moment for me.
With the boat safely moored, the crews can begin to enjoy the many delights of this seafaring province. For now, there's time for a rest. But in a little over a week, the racing will begin again.